Hi, my name is Jennifer Mullins and I'm the owner of Mullins Tutoring Incorporated. Today I'm going to review using the quadratic formula to solve equations. The standard formula for a quadratic equation is ax squared plus bx plus c. To the right I have an example of a quadratic equation, x squared plus 3x plus 2 is equal to 0. In this equation, a is equal to 1. The 1 is not shown, but any variable times 1 is itself. B is equal to 3, and C is equal to 2. Now, I could use the quadratic formula for this, but with this one, I'm actually able to factor out the problem. So I have x is my first term, and x times x gives me x squared. My last term is 2, and it's positive. So I have 2, and the factors for 2 are 1 and 2. Since this term is positive, I'm going to be combining those when I would FOIL this out. This is going to be plus 1 and plus 2, and it can go in either order. And when I would do this in reverse, x times x is x squared, x times 2 is 2x, 1 times x is 1x, and 1 times 2 is 2, and 1x plus 2x gives me that 3x. So I could solve, and then would set these up to find the x-intercept, which would just be x plus 1 is equal to 0. We'd subtract 1 from both sides, and x would be equal to negative 1. X plus 2 is equal to 0. Subtract 2 from both sides, and x is equal to negative 2. So here I'm able to find my x's without having to go through the quadratic equation. But sometimes you're not going to be able to factor things your equation out so easily. So in that case, we would go to use the quadratic formula. Don't let this formula intimidate you. It does seem large, but it actually, with practice, becomes very easy. So the formula for the quadratic formula is x is equal to negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4 times a times c, and that's all over 2a. So we have a problem here of 2a squared minus 5x minus 12 is equal to 0. And I can't factor it out the way that I just showed you, so I'm going to use the quadratic equation. First thing I want to do is find what each letter is. So a is equal to 2, b is equal to negative 5, and please make sure to take the sign with the number, and c is equal to negative 12. So now what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to put that one bit to the side so that when we're working this problem, we don't get them confused. We're going to plug our numbers into the formula. So we have x is equal to negative 5 plus or minus the square root of negative 5 squared minus 4 times 2 times negative 12. And that's all going to go over 2 times a, which is 2. So 2's are tricky. Let's see if we can redo that one. Okay. So our next step is going to be simplifying it. So we have x is equal to negative times a negative 5 would be positive 5, plus or minus. So negative 5 squared is going to be a positive 25. And then we have negative 4 times 2 is negative 8, and negative 8 times negative 12 is positive 96. And that's going to go over 2 times 2, which is 4. Okay, let's do our next step, which would be to combine what's underneath the radical. So we'll once again bring up that x is equal to 5 plus or minus the square root of 121 over 4. And I'm just going to put an equal sign here of 5 plus or minus. So the square root of 121 is 11 over 4. So now we have to solve for our x's. And that positive negative is we're going to split this into 2 fractions. So we're going to have x is equal to 5 plus 11 over 4, which would give us 16 over 4, and that is going to be 4. And then we're going to do the negative, so we'll have x is equal to 5 minus 11 over 4 is equal to negative 6 over 4, which would give us negative 3/2 or negative 1.5. So the two places that this quadratic equation would intercept x would be at 4 and negative 1.5. I hope this review of using the quadratic formula to solve a problem was helpful. Please feel free to check out my other math videos as well as to like and subscribe. Thank you so much.